All right, guys. So 2XKO closed beta is finally here, and I know a lot of you are going to be totally new to fighting games, or maybe you've played a couple fighting games here or there just a little bit casually, and you kind of want to dive in and be able to have a ton of fun and probably be as good as you can as early on as possible. And there's going to be a lot of resources out there. If you look up a 2XKO beginner guide, you're going to see tons of different creators all putting out their different approaches to whether it be specific characters or the game as a whole. And while there's a ton of value in that, I wanted to make something short, concise, and sweet. So if you just want to hop in, get a little taste of the fun, dip your toe in the water, and just get right into 2XKO, you can do that. And if you want to be able to dive deeper into more advanced techniques, crazy combos, touches of death, etc., I'll be able to point you in a right direction to find those resources. But we're going to keep it super simple today, and hopefully this helps out some of you new players. So when you first start the game, it's actually going to put you immediately into a training mode, or not a training mode, a tutorial. And the tutorial is pretty helpful. It covers a few basic things. You'll just get the basics of like win conditions. Obviously, you got to get rid of all the health of your opposing two characters. Do that for 2 rounds, you win the game. Some movement, blocking, very basic stuff that even if you're totally new to fighting games, you probably have some understanding of some of these concepts, right? So I definitely recommend going through the tutorial that it gives you at the start. It's a great starting point, and it'll help you just get a little familiar with some of the basic inputs and controls without overwhelming you with a bunch of stuff. And if you really want to, you can dive into the fuses system to take a peek at all the different fuse options, which is basically just a modifier that you can pick on any team to give you different abilities. And some of them actually limit your team to just one character, so it can be a lot easier to digest. And I recommend as a new player, if it feels overwhelming to learn 2 new characters at once, the 2 solo fuses, which would be Juggernaut and Sidekick, are definitely a good starting point. So if you want to check out those tutorials, they'll give you great examples of what those fuses can do. Yeah, that's going to be a great resource. I would recommend you stay away from the advanced lessons until you complete the basic tutorial. Maybe pick a character you think is really interesting, and maybe play a couple matches either with friends or just in public matches. Then circle back to advanced lessons once you've dipped your toe in the water and gotten your hands on the game a little bit, right? And those advanced lessons are going to get into some crazier stuff like cross-ups or escaping block strings, advanced blocking, parries, so on and so forth. A lot of really cool stuff in here. It's definitely worth doing, but don't feel the need when you first jump in that you have to do all this stuff at once. All right, so you hop in, you do the basic tutorials, and then you want to pick your character, right? You have 9 different champions available. When you complete the tutorial, it's going to give you 2 champion unlock tokens. Those 2 champion unlock tokens can be used to redeem any champion for free. And then from that point on, if you want to unlock any character, it's going to cost you some free currency. So don't immediately use those tokens unless you know exactly who you want to play as, because otherwise it's going to take you the full 10,000 credits that you can earn in the free currency to unlock that last champion. So you can go into the champions menu here and go over move lists for every character, see some animation, some stats on them. The move list is very helpful to give you examples of all the different stuff the character can do. And if these moves seem cool to you, that could be a really cool starting point. In terms of picking your main, there's definitely great guides to do that and break down every character. I personally recommend just pick what character looks cool, or if you know there's a certain playstyle you want, just start with that playstyle. You can always learn the character a little bit, mess with them in training mode since all champs are unlocked in training mode, and see if they're a good fit for you or not. Worst case, you play them a little bit, you think it's not the best fit, you move on to someone else, right? So definitely go through these, get a grasp of it, pick who you want, and then let's just hop right into training mode so I can just show you a very simple thing to start off with, because I think people get very caught up in wanting to learn like super optimized stuff, and they think like, oh, if I can't do the triple electric combo with this just is 1 frame timing Link 3 times in a row with Vi, then I'm not actually playing the character, right? And I don't think that's true at all. So let's just start with Blitzcrank here. I'm going to put a second character in. It doesn't matter for this because I'm going to pick Juggernaut, where you only pick 1 character, and the second champ doesn't matter. But technically, you can tag between characters between rounds, but we'll ignore that for now. And then you can pick whatever character is on the other side. And if you see, I actually enabled Pulse Mode. It should be enabled by default. And that's going to give you the auto combo situation, something that will be covered in the tutorial. But basically, you can just hit light, medium, or heavy a bunch of times in a row, or mix and match them to give you example auto combos. So for Blitzcrank, if you just want to get a basic punish and you have pulse mode on, you just mash light and it's going to give you a simple combo. And this is a combo you can actually recreate if you know the inputs for without mashing all the lights. So you can kind of fall back on this if you forget what you need to do. Or if you do remember, you can just do it manually. Just like that, right? So it's going to be a little more damage if you do it manually. So it's a good practice tool to say, hey, I forgot. I'm trying to remember what the combo is. You mash light, you get the combo, you're good to go. And then you can just immediately try with the manual timing. Juggernaut's not going to prevent you from inputting the combo yourself. And if you use mediums, you're going to get a super out of your combo using 1 meter. And then if you use heavies, you're going to get a simple combo that uses your ultimate, which is your 3-bar super, which is going to do the most damage. And as long as you have that meter, this auto combo will use it. So what I recommend, once you get to this point, you pick your character, you do a couple pulse combos, you kind of see some of the stuff they're doing. Just get a simple combo down. So if your opponent whiffs something in your face, they do a big super and you block it, or you just get any opening just by pressing buttons, you want to know how to get just a little bit of damage out there, and you want it to be reliable and simple. And generally, the way this game works, the main combo structure you're going to use for almost every character is going to be hitting light, medium, then heavy, and then you're going to hit down heavy as a launcher. This is generally a launcher for every character on the cast. And then after that, you're going to jump after that and hit light, medium, heavy again with one of your specials. For each character, it's going to be a different option on which special you want to use. For Blitzcrank, I would recommend using S1, because in the air, you're going to grab them, bring them down, and you actually have an opportunity to super there if you also choose. So let's say you have a bar meter and you want to do it. You do the S1, and then input your super 1. Bam. Look at that. You got, that was 440 damage. It's like almost half health of the average health character. And that's going to get you a long way. You don't need anything crazy. This is just to get you into the flow of things so you can have fun. And then once you get super comfortable with this, by all means, go learn a more advanced combo and start practicing that. And then now you have an easy one to fall back on, and you have a harder one to try to go for if you're feeling like you can hit it in the moment. You can always go to practice mode and just have fun practicing those combos. But you don't need anything crazy there, okay? So just start simple, don't overwhelm yourself. The only thing I'm gonna mention on defense right now, in the advanced tutorials we'll get into more advanced stuff here, is anti-airs. Early on in a fighting game, especially a tag game like this, where movement is a little better than you would see in the Street Fighters of the world, and there's gonna be jumping around a lot more than you'd see in like a Tekken, right? A great option is anti-airing. So what I'm gonna do here is, you don't need to worry about how I'm setting this up. Totally just ignore that. But I'm just gonna do a simple jump into an attack with the other character. And then I'm gonna set it up so that this character will do it after I knock them down. So we'll do it on Wake Up. Do the recording slot I just did. And that should be good to go. So now I'm gonna give them just a simple throw. They're gonna do the jump in after. And now, there it is. So there's a little bit of delay there, but it still totally works for this purpose. All you're gonna do is watch for the jump attack and then hit down heavy. Every character in the game has an option to use an anti-air. Everyone has a down heavy that can do this, and it's gonna beat any attack in the air. And this attack is gonna get you a ton of reward. I promise early on it's gonna be probably the best tool you have in defense to use without a ton of thought. So for example, do it here. You can go right into that simple combo extension we talked about before, the light, medium, heavy into a special, if I can space it here properly. Launch, LMH, S1, super. It's the same exact thing we did that simple combo that everyone's gonna do, is LMH special into super, or even just LMH super in the air is totally viable. So you can just sit here and wait, let them jump at you. Bam, bam, bam. Look at this damage. 450 damage, just like that. That's literally all I'm gonna leave you guys with today, okay? And I'll give you a couple resources here to dive into deeper. Once you get the grasp of this stuff, you have some fun with friends and online matches, you want to level up your game a little bit, you can totally do that. So for example, I would recommend, there's a couple great resources here. One, this was actually used or referenced by the 2XKO team directly. They worked with Infill to do this. We have the fighting game glossary, and I'll leave a link in the description here so you can find this. They even have a 2XKO specific section. So any terms that apply to 2XKO, whether it be unique or overlapping with other games, you can kind of sort through that and get an explanation of what these mechanics do. Maybe you see a video or a tweet that mentions a get up attack and you don't know what that is. Bam, you just look it up. This tells you how to do it. You hold S1 or S2 as you get knocked down, as you're rising from a knockdown, and now you're going to have a fully invincible attack to get people off of you. Again, don't need to worry about the specifics of this for now, but this is just a great tool if you want to learn more about specific terms that you haven't heard before, especially if you're coming to fighting games new. And also, if you want to dive into picking characters for your team or just getting more into advanced mechanics or just a more comprehensive beginner's guide to cover all the systems of the game, I would recommend Rooflemonger as a good starting point. There's going to be tons of creators that have videos like this, but Roofle does a great job of getting super into detail. And as you can tell, a 50-minute video and an hour and a half video can seem like a lot, but these are going to be great tools to reference back if you want to just learn the game, see what every character does, so you know who you want to pick on your team. I really recommend them as a great starting point, but you're going to find tons of this stuff online. So definitely feel free to use your guides, but just don't feel compelled to use them immediately. I see a lot of complaints that this game is so hard and, oh, I have to go into the lab for 50 hours to find some optimal combo and mix-up that is the only way I'm going to be able to compete in matches. I promise you that's not the case. I have friends that have been playing in private matches with me and others that all have a wide range of experience, from being totally new to fighting games, to having a little bit of time in Street Fighter, to having decades of experience, and everyone can kind of hang with everybody else in the lobby as long as you get some of these simple basics down. Like I mentioned with the anti-air, just a simple combo that gets you some damage can be a ton of fun. It's been a ton of fun for me. Definitely take advantage of duo play and play with friends regardless of their skill level if you can, or maybe just meet people in lobbies. Go play a match. If you have a good time after the match, say GG's in chat, maybe ask someone if you want to add them or duo, and then you guys can have some fun there too. So don't go too crazy with everything in the game. Just take your time, take it bit by bit. Feel free to use resources like these guides and glossaries, and I think it'll take you a long way. And I'll definitely be making additional content in the future to go more into specific characters and systems and guides of that nature. But for now, I just want to leave it there. If you know anybody who's totally new to fighting games or very fresh to the genre and they're interested in checking out 2XKO, hopefully you send this video their way. If you made it this far, any likes, subscriptions, comments would all be super appreciated. But really, that's going to be it. Go have fun with the game. 2XKO is a blast. You're going to have a good time, I promise you. Just don't get too caught up in trying to be the next Sonic Fox. It's going to take a long time for anybody to be as good as Sonic Fox if they could ever hit that level. So don't hold yourself to that standard. Just have a good time. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for coming through.